Hey everyone, this is Ian Ford, and I'm back again with another live video. And tonight I want to talk about life expectancies. Expectancies. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word properly, but in life, it's like we expect things to happen, or we expect things to happen. But the only way our plans are gonna really work out is unless we set goals. What is a goal? A goal is something that you set and try to achieve it. How can you achieve a goal? A goal is working. I don't know if you want to work hard or you want to work smart towards whatever you want. Right. So a lot of people set life expectancies and say, oh, you know what, I expect to get a house at the age of 30, or I expect to have a BMW, or I expect to be rich, or yada, 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 but nothing is really promised unto us. We just have to get up every day and we have to ask God for His guidance and protection. At least that's what I do. I don't know if you're a Muslim or a Jew or whatever. You may call him a different name. But I set my I set my eye on a target and I work towards it. So I wouldn't call it that I expect, oh, this is going to happen, because at the end of the day, this is how I see something. But a lot of the times, I mean, things don't always work out how we want it to. So we have to try our best to set goals that are attainable. 99% of the time, people set goals that they believe, oh, this is going to happen because this is this is what I want. But that's not what is going to happen, because one, you want it to happen, but you don't have goals set for it to happen. So just thinking that, oh yeah, this is going to happen because it's supposed to happen, it's ordained by God or whatever. It won't. You have to set the goals and then step by step work towards reaching those goals, or work to attaining those goals. No, I mean, for example, if everybody can look at this, the projection. So this is basically all the goals that I have set to help me to achieve my degree. On top, all the way up here on top, I have the God is in control goal, you know? And I have different goals coming down, success is the key and all of that. I have different little things up there. Because and I look at this every time, every day, every time I sit here in my little corner, I look at all these things that I have up there. And I try to, like, if I'm not focused, I try to get focused by looking at all this, because from all these sticky notes that's on this wall right here, that is how I get my motivation. I try to use this to create a picture of, a brighter future, like a better tomorrow then. But this alone will not help, because just writing some words on a piece of paper doesn't guarantee that at the end of the day I'm going to get that degree, or doesn't guarantee that at the end of the day, if I do get that degree, and or when I do get that degree, I'm going to get the job. So from the job, I can get all the things that I really want, right? No, it doesn't. But then I look at it and I say, you know what? It doesn't guarantee it, but then it's a step in the right. It's like putting my foot in the right places, putting my foot in the right step, making the right move then. So I'm like, every day I'm like, all right, get up. I got a routine. It's either I go to work, come home, work on my assignment, or I go to work, and after work, I'll probably go do my part time or whatever. It's just a routine, it's just a routine that is instilled in me to, you know, try to provide for me and my family. But the reason why I chose this topic, life expectations or ex- whatever expectations, I'm like, a lot of people, like, on a day-to-day basis, they expect that something is going to happen. But listen to my word, listen to me. The only way something is going to happen is unless you work hard towards it. You have to go out there, flex your muscles, or use your brain and come up with something to achieve what you want. Because at the end of the day, there's really and truly nothing out there that is unattainable. Nothing at all. All you have to do is just believe in yourself, work towards it, and you can get anything you want. You know? And at one point in my life, I I don't know. I think I wasn't thinking. I wasn't awoke, I wasn't woke. I was like a timid man, a very, very timid man, afraid to do a lot of things. But at a certain point, I decided that, hey, you know what? I have to wake up. I have to wake up. You can't live your life like that because guess what? Everything you do, there's a risk involved. So, still live my life very, very timid. I mean, growing up as a young man, I was very sheltered. I can remember, I can remember, I can remember way back because I can remember way back coming from basic school and coming from basic school and there was a funeral going on and my mother was running like crazy because she knew at the time I was afraid of hearses. So she was running like hell coming, but I already heard the sounds. I was already up in some bush, up in some hills walking because I'm like, yo, I don't really want this to pass me. But then you know what? In life you gotta face your fears. You gotta face whatever is probably holding you back from achieving what you really should achieve. So I was always sheltered. But then when the reason why I broke out of my shell was because I can remember when I moved to Spanish Town because I had to go to school. So I moved to Spanish Town and I can remember one Friday evening, me and this little youth by the name of Kemar was going to the barber shop, right? And we decided, hey, you know what? We're going to walk on the Canal Bank. Worst mistake ever. I got robbed. No, man just lift up him shirt, show me him gun, I'ma give him everything we have. And I'm like, dang. I mean, people see we, and I guess people probably even know who he was, but they didn't even try to help us. I mean, I got robbed. Man even don't want to take my Timberland off of my foot, but luckily him say, oh, right now, I lucky me lucky, Man take some money off of me. Them time they may have a Samsung flip phone. The time that them flip phone they had. But funny enough, I mean, him take the phone there from me like in a May, and by June me get a razor phone. So it's like, sometimes certain things don't worth your life. But maybe if I had acted like try to act up or whatever, I'd probably be dead today. But seeing that's one of the turning points in my life where I decided, hey, you know what? It doesn't make sense you live like a timid man or just living in your shell. So you have to go out there and try to get whatever you want in life because it won't come to you. You have to go out there and get it for yourself. So saying that, I made some major moves, made some major, major moves in my life. And So far, God has been there with me. Even today, I was like at work, and you know, I helped this lady, and she was about to leave, and then she went in her backpack, and she gave me this thing. We call it like a track, like, well, not a track, but it was like a business card, but then it had like some Bible scriptures on there, and and on it on the card it says, she said, hey, don't throw it away, read it now, it's real good. No, and I read it, and it says, you gotta go on your knees, and you gotta really pray to God. And I don't know, maybe that was my blessing for the day. Because sometimes we really need for prayer, because sometimes prayer are the only thing we can really help us with whatever situation we're facing. A lot of the times, a person might look and say, hey, you know what? I'm in a state of depression, or I'm in a state where everything seems like it's just going down the hill. But you know what? God is just testing you, just giving you a challenge to see how you're going to respond to that. So we gotta sometimes we just gotta find different ways of motivating ourselves, and find a way to just go to the next level. Because guess what? There's tons and tons of ways. When one door closes, 100 more open. So when when you think, say, you are at the end of your road, there's someone out there 10 times the worse than you, 10 times worse than you. Things may not work in your favor right now, but later on, trust me, they will all work in your favor. All you have to do is just continue to work hard on whatever you want. Continue trying hard to achieve your goals. Continue setting goals. Continue believing in yourself. Continue believing in God. Because at the end of the day, nothing is promised to us, but we just got to continue working hard. Yep. It's always, it's always, I mean, it's always like, people always say, when life throws you lemons, just use it to make lemonades. So, and everyday things going to be smooth or easy going, or you know you're going to be at the top of your game. As me say in the previous post, you can never start climbing a ladder from the top. You have to always start climbing it from the bottom. From the first rung, you got to put your foot on the first rung to move up. You can't start up on top of the roof climbing. Nope. Because guess what? If you start building a house, if you start building a house from the top down, the house I got by the time you reach to the foundation, the house I got tumble over upon you, because guess what? It wasn't built properly. Everything have to build from a solid foundation up. So in a life when we're there, in life when we're there, and it's like everything seemed to be, space seemed to be getting smaller and smaller. Guess what? That's just the challenge. When you find you're in a place and you seem like you're gonna be suffocating, just hang on, and at the end of that, when you go through that, promise you, when you go through that phase there, after you go through that phase there, the next phase them I go smooth, you know, smooth. Because guess what? If you're a person that go through a phase where you're faced with trials and tribulations, and then you know after that trial and that tribulation, you end up at a point where you're looking and you're like, guess what? I've been through worse than this. I mean, I've been through I've been through a moment in my life or a time in my life when hey, I was almost homeless, or I've been through a time in my life when I slept on my auntie's couch for almost a year, or what, people will never know. I've been through a point in my life where I slept on a blow up bed for a few months, and I mean, one side of the blow up bed start rise, and the other side's like I'm saying to myself, oh shit, this blow up bed is pregnant because one side is so high and the other side is, people will never know that. If I don't tell them, they will never know that. You know, I've been through things where I thought that hey, this is the worst thing that could ever happen, but then guess what? After that phase, then comes another phase because guess what? You have to get trial in life. If you don't get that trial, then how you going, how you going, how are you going to move on? So you have to be tried. I mean, even even though we might say, oh, at this point in my life, I had expected that I would have been a millionaire, or I would have expected that I would have been this and that. I mean, today I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, hey, you know what? If it's going to work, if it's working in a department store, or working in a fast food place, once he's able to feed his family, it's it's good enough for him. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's the right attitude. Once you can go out there and 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 hustle and grind and do the right thing and help your family, then that to me, that is how everything should be. Because guess what? At the end of the day, my mother always used to tell me this: I know where you work, how much you save. That's how she always tell me. Cause growing up, I saw her. I mean, she never have no big job. She used to do domestic work and them something. And guess what? Every Christmas, she always have every Christmas, or every time something was going on, and she wanted to do it. She always have her little money, because guess what? If she work $500, she'll try to save at least $150. I wish me to have some of them qualities there. I wish me to have some of them qualities there where she have some of them good qualities there where learn to band my belly and do it out some of the time. Because guess what? Those are some of the qualities. Because at the end of the day, when you sit down and you say, oh, when you sit down and you say, oh, you know what? May I get paid tomorrow? So when I get paid tomorrow, I can deal with that, or I can deal with that. But unfortunately, it shouldn't be like that. Because if you're a person that is working so hard, or you're a person that works, and then at the end of the day, it's like it's an untold liberty. That's one of the hardest thing. And anything I come on here and say is things that I experience, and it's things that I don't want for myself. So I try to excuse me. So I try to go out there and I try to motivate someone else. They say, hey, you know what? If you're in a dark place, or you're in a place where you're looking at something and you're saying, hey, you know what? Better is out there. So don't even think some negative things, because a lot of times people misread certain signs. Somebody being in a dark place because they had so much life expectancies, and then all of a sudden, you know, it never work out like how they wanted it to work out, and them think to do some to harm themselves. So if you're out there and you're in this dark place, and you might feel say, hey, boy, God forgot about you, or Allah, or Buddha, or whatever you might call him. Just remember this: there's always someone that's worse than you, 10 times worse than you, and there's always someone that's even worse than that person. In a worse situation or whatever. I mean, there's nothing really to worry about when it comes to a situation like this, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and there's always gonna be ups and downs. You know, thus as me as what I try to say, as what I do all the time. I try to set goals that are attainable. So always have a plan, set your goals them, and work at them one at a time. And as I said, you can get a board like this, and do your thing and just try, or whatever way you motivate yourself. Just find something to motivate yourself and just work work towards that. Thank you. Thank you for viewing. If you like this, just comment and share and subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna try to keep it real 100% of the time, and I'm gonna be there's gonna be a series of videos. So I mean, if you have something that you want to talk about, or you want to come, if you want to come on the live and reason with me or whatever, you want to come on the live and you want a quality type of reasoning, then you can just send me a message and we can set up a time and we can do a live together. And just positive things. Try to motivate others towards attaining and achieving some goals, and trying to motivate yourself as well, because as me said, life is full of ups and downs. So you know we can use this as a learning thing to motivate people of doing positive things, and doing positive and enriching things. So I want to thank everyone that's going to view this. Just subscribe to the channel, like and share with your friends. All right, have a good night. Bye.